This week, we are joined by Erik Hammond of the Orange Stack. Good morning, Erik.
Thanks.
And we will be talking about how to keep your clients up to date with Twitter. Good morning, Erik. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. So just to start out, if you can, just give us a brief introduction of what we'll be talking about today.
Yeah, so today we try to break it up. We usually talk about social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram being some of our bigger ones. We're talking about Twitter today, kind of the old steady, true, and faithful Twitter. It's getting smaller, but there's still a lot of good results that you can get out of it. And so today we're going to cover a few ways to provide content to your existing clients and how to find potential new move-ins and people moving around your area that are going to be taking action probably in the next 3 to 6 months.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how can an agent get engagement from Twitter?
So Twitter is like everyone says, right? It's like drinking from a fire hose. Just so much stuff kind of coming at you all the time. I was reading the other day that right now there's an average of about 300 million people on Twitter every single day. And if you took just the single post that everybody makes over a 24-hour period, there'd actually be a 10 million page book that you could print out just from all the posts that happen in one single day. So there's a lot going on Twitter. It's a busy place. You have to be strategic about it. You have to know when your clients are going to be online. You have to know when most people are reading it. Obviously, you don't want to schedule a post for 2 a.m. because they're probably not going to be reading it. But the big times are 9, noon, and after 5 o'clock. Those are just usually the busy times that people are checking. The average lifespan of a tweet right now is about 12 seconds. So if you post something and a couple minutes later you don't get a lot of engagement, go ahead and repost it again, actually, in another hour. It's totally okay to do that on Twitter only. Don't take this knowledge and take it to Facebook and Instagram because you guys are going to get unfollowed if that's what happens. So Twitter's a busy place. There's a lot going on. They don't really have a great way of scaling what people see. You just get everything. Every time you refresh your feed, you're just going to get another dozen, if not 100 new updates from people. So be aware of that.
So when that 12 seconds is up and you post again, do you want to delete that previous one? Or do you just want to keep posting the same thing?
Yeah, keep posting it. The only way people are going to see what you previously post is actually if they go to your account and see what you've posted, because it's going to have your whole timeline of everything that you put out there. But if they're just naturally scrolling in the Twitter feed, you're going to get lost. So the recommendation, ironically, from most Twitter professionals is to create a great piece of content, post it, let's say, at 9 o'clock, and then refresh and post it at 10 o'clock, and then do it again at 11 o'clock, and then at noon, maybe write something different. So you can recycle your tweets over and over, knowing that somebody who's on at 9 probably isn't going to be there again at 10 o'clock, and they're not going to be there at 11. So, and the chances of if they are on at 9 o'clock, they're probably not even going to see your post at 10 o'clock that you did before anyway.
And people probably don't check Twitter as often as they do their Facebook and Instagram, so that
yeah. It depends. Some people aren't on Facebook because they just live on Twitter. Some people are diehard, true fans of it. And that's where they go to get all their updates. I mean, I've got friends who live and breathe by it. It's when they get all their news and updates, and that's just their place. But yeah, you're right. They probably aren't scrolling back that far and seeing everything you post anyway.
That's how I get your news. That's how I keep up with everything. I don't have cable, so I rely on Twitter.
Yep, I'm there with you. Exactly.
So how do you provide value to your buyers' clients with Twitter?
So I'm going to come at this at a different approach. This is going to be kind of a tricky one to follow along here. It's better laid out if you have some visualization to it. But think about it this way. So a lot of people are probably moving into your town. We talk to agents all over the United States who have a huge influx of people moving to their town. We live in Southern California. A lot of people are moving out of California just because the cost, taxes, super expensive place to live. And they're leaving California to move to the other 49 states, right? They're going everywhere else but here. Granted, there's still people moving to Southern California, so if you're in California, this still works for you too. But what happens is people are moving to new areas, and what they do is they actually go to Twitter and say, hey guys, moving to Southern California, or I'm moving to Austin, or I'm moving to New York, or wherever it is. If you just go up to the top right corner of Twitter, and this is easier on a desktop, and you're probably going to want to do it anyway because your thumbs will get worn out on a cell phone. But if you go to the top right corner, there's that little search feature that Twitter offers. And if you literally just type in the words moving to and then put your city or relocating to or moving or house hunting or something before your city that has to do with real estate and moving, you're going to find a lot of people. And I just did a quick search on this last night in the area of San Diego, which is obviously big. There's about 3.5 million people who live in the San Diego County right now. Just alone last night, there was over a dozen people who posted the words moving to and then put San Diego as their tweet. So if you just search for that on a regular basis, you're going to have tons of people who are saying they're moving to your area And now all I have to do is follow up with them. So here's the big trick of what do you say to these strangers that you've never met besides like, hey, do you have a real estate agent? Hey, I'll help you. Hey, you found that house you're looking for. You don't want to jump on them like that. The trick with all social media is to provide value up front and then ask for the sell later. So what you do is, stepping back again, you go write a blog or you write some type of a quick article that's 500 to 1,000 words long. And it's basically your guide to moving to blank, right? Put in your city as that blank. So your guide to moving to San Diego, or the top 10 things to do in Salt Lake, or here's 15 things that you didn't know about Florida when you moved here. Just really interesting things. You're going to talk about the weather, the economy, the housing market, the jobs that are going on, what fun things are to do in this area, top restaurants, the school districts, all that kind of stuff. This is an evergreen piece of content that's going to exist on your site for probably the next 3 years to update it again. So once you get this blog written, keep this on your website. You're going to create a short little bit.ly link just so the link is small and doesn't take up all of your 160 characters. So you're going to basically go to that tweet that says, hey, I'm moving to San Diego this summer. And you're going to be like, great. Hey, Tori, I'm excited for you to move here. Check out my free buyer's guide or my free moving guide to San Diego, and then paste that little bit.ly link in there. And when they click on that, it's going to drive them to your website. From your website, you're going to have the opportunity to take them to houses that are for rent, houses that are for sale. You can show them other blogs. You can show them videos about you. They're just going to learn a ton about you. So there's a whole different direction you can go from there. But basically, you provided value up front to somebody. And all the other agents who are seeing this are probably saying, hey, I've got a house for you to buy, or hey, do you know where you're moving to? So think about the value that you're providing to your clients that way.
So I'm going to ask a question that just came to mind. When it comes to that shorter link, does Twitter automatically shorten the link for you, or is that something you have to do on your own?
It doesn't. So most blogs are going to be your website / mover - guide - to - city. So it's going to be really long, right? It's probably going to take up all your characters. So if you just go to bit.ly, which is bit.ly, it's a link shortener. You can use it for really any website. Those long URLs that you're going to get, it's just a great way of making it shorter. And so you can repurpose these on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else. YouTube does it automatically with theirs. So they'll do like u.t and then put the rest of it in there. But it basically just saves your character count. So when you're posting to Twitter, it leaves you more room to put something else.
And how many characters is it for a tweet?
160.
160, that's it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. So
you gotta be a wordsmith.
That's the point. They don't allow any.
That's why emojis are great. You can wrap up a lot with an emoji too and take advantage of those kind of things.
Is Twitter still big on hashtags, or is that kind of...
It is, and that's another thing. If you've got a big hashtag in your area, like SoCal or Beach Life or something that describes your area, so you can even search for hashtags too. So as people search for those kind of things, you can create that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So how do you tie in your Twitter content with other platforms?
There you go. So we talked about creating this blog, right, that exists on your website. That's the hub. You're trying to get everybody to your website because from there you can get their email address. You can retarget them with other pixels on other social media platforms. You want to take that blog and that content and you want to create other pieces like this too, right? So other content that you might have is 5 mistakes that new buyers make, or top 10 restaurants in this area, or maybe you go interview all the principals of schools in your area. You're just trying to create valid content that solves the problems of the clients that you work with and post that on your website. And once it's there, share it all to Twitter. Share that bit.ly link on Facebook. Facebook makes it all pretty. They bring in the pictures that you have on your website and make that post interesting. You can post those to Instagram as well. Really every platform that has words on it, you can share it to. Besides YouTube, obviously you can't share a URL on the YouTube unless it's a video with a URL in there. But basically, yeah, all the big platforms are going to be great. We get to YouTube here is create video content, right? So maybe you go and interview that principal and have video. Maybe you go interview the restaurants in your area and set up your little iPhone and get great quality video from that and just provide value to your clients, and then host that video on your site through YouTube and then share that to your other platforms as well.
So I know with Twitter, it will, when you share something from another platform, so if you're on Instagram and it has that option to toggle share to Twitter, yeah, and then almost a separate post, do you recommend sharing it from your other platform or doing a whole separate post for Twitter?
The second one. So they make it easy so that you can be lazy and just get it up. But every platform has a different format of how they justify the picture, how much text you can put in there, all that kind of stuff. So if you write this long Facebook post and go share that on Twitter, you're going to get cut off, right? You're going to have too much words in there. So write one for each platform that you can do. You can even use programs like Buffer and Hootsuite, and then you can actually create a post for each platform, and it'll schedule it out through that way so that you don't have to come up with the schedule right there or drop everything that you're doing that day just to keep up on your social media posting.
Yeah, I know when I'm scrolling through Twitter and someone shares from Instagram, I don't like clicking on the Instagram link because I know it's going to take me to that other platform. All I want right now is Twitter. So
yeah. So yeah, take the time, write one for each platform that you're on, and don't feel like you've got to be everywhere. Right now there's probably 25 different platforms that have over 100 million people on it. There's some that don't even exist in the United States. Just pick your top 2 or 3 and make the most of those, and take advantage of the followers that are on there. If you work with clients that are typically 20 to 30, maybe you don't want to even be on Facebook. Maybe Instagram's your home, or maybe Snapchat is a better platform for you. But figure out where your clients are and speak to them there.
Perfect. And then if you just want to go ahead and wrap it up, give any last minute tips about Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter is the basis. It's a great way to share a lot of stuff. It's easy to just post something. We didn't even get into like the old Periscope version of what Twitter's become. You can actually still go live on Twitter right now. My encouragement for all of you guys is do more video, get comfortable with it, figure it out. By 2020, 80% of social media platforms are going to be just video. That's it. So if you're just comfortable behind keys, figure out how to get comfortable on that phone. Start making video now. Start making a fool of yourself and just get it out there before more people watch it. Because once you have thousands of followers, it's going to be even harder to do it. So create good content, be original, try to do something unique, go make it fun, go make it interesting, and just do it. If you can just do something once a week with video, it's going to be so much easier as you get more comfortable and figure out your groove. So go big on video, go start searching for some great things on Twitter and see who's coming. It's amazing how many people are still on Twitter posting daily.
Yeah. We do have one question. We had talked about creating the different posts for different social media platforms. What was the name of the system that helps you draft for each platform that you mentioned?
You mean put the post to each platform?
I think you had said something. Yeah. It creates a different post for each specific platform.
Yeah, so Buffer, BUFFER.com, and then Hootsuite, like hoot like an owl, suite like a hotel, and that'll basically let you schedule it out. Most of them offer a free plan, and then there's a paid one as well. So it'll let you schedule it any time of the day, and then it'll also give you analytics of when more people looked at your post. So you can see like most of my people posted it or viewed it at 9 o'clock. I know that that's the time that I need to keep posting. So
will it also tell you what platform is getting the most?
Yeah. So basically you have the first one is like Facebook, and then Instagram and Twitter as you go down. So it'll tell you the stats of each of them. So kind of a good way of knowing your algorithm or your analytics.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your Twitter knowledge. It's always a pleasure having you on the broadcast. If you guys have any other questions for Erik, his link is in the description of this video. You can go ahead and book a free 30-minute consultation. Is that correct?
Yep. Okay. We'd love to talk about your social media strategy and what you're doing, see if there's anything that we can help you do better, get more leads out of Facebook.
Perfect. Use the link. Go book a 30-minute free consultation with Erik. His email and phone number and the link to his website is also in the description of this video. So please feel free to reach out to him with any marketing questions. He's the expert.
Thanks, Tori, for having me today. I appreciate being here.
Well, of course. Thanks so much, Erik. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you all next week. Have a great day.